What is going on? I am Some Guy, Some Game, and welcome to a crash course tutorial in Terra Invicta. Now, if you enjoy this tutorial, don't forget to slam that like button, push it, slam it, whatever you want to do, because YouTube is not my, we'll just say they're not my biggest fan, and they don't ever really promote any of my stuff. So, if you happen to be watching this, you're one of the few, please push that like button if I help you out. But otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Now, this tutorial is not comprehensive. It is meant to just get you into it and get you going. It is also in a mid-game save, so there's some stuff going on in the game. It's not really spoiler stuff, but it's not beginner stuff either. So I'm not going to go into all the details on everything. I'm just going to try to focus on what I think you need to get going, and hopefully that'll be what you, well, hopefully that's what you're here for. So let's get started right now. So you got your solar system here, you got Earth, pretty simple stuff. You'll figure it out. A lot of these controls are intuitive. You just play a little bit, you'll get it going. You don't need every little bit. You'll get it sorted. So I'm going to try to get you the main stuff here. So Earth, you push the button, it takes you to Earth, and then you got your countries. And currently I have it set on faction control, but you can go ahead and check out the different Xeno level forming, unrest, boost income. Boost income is going to be very important early. You want to get your mill tech up, things like that. So you want to go through this. Is just going to give you some options for different things you want to view. I typically leave it on faction control because that's nice and easy, and I can see what I control and what my other factions in the game are controlling. Now let's go in. Right here's the other factions. I'm actually down one currently, but this is the world population stuff. This is where you're going to get that data. You click up top on the intel and it's going to go ahead and take you here, and this is going to, it's just going to give you a general rundown of public opinion, stuff like that. So wars going on the right there, and you can scroll through those if you want, whatever. But this is not really that important to gameplay, but it's here if you want to look through it and see where you're at. I'm Golden Dawn, which is Exodus. I just named them Golden Dawn because I like that better. So, alright. Up at the top, we've got your money and your influence, op points, and your boost income, which again is really important early, your MC, which is your mission control points, your science, and your control points for the nations. And here you can see the control points. Each will tell you how many they're going to take for each one. This is 23 point whatever, and then for each one it's going to be that amount. So you can do the math. I'm not very good at it. And Canada, they have different ones. Each one's going to be worth different. Same thing, each country has slightly different depending on how powerful it is and whatnot. And then you got your space resources up here. You got water, volatiles, rares. Rares and fissiles are the two most important. Keep that in mind. And you're also going to need plenty of water and volatiles as well. And then you've got your most important notifications that pop up here. So pay attention to those as much as you can. Crackdown points, defend interests, stuff like that. New habs being built, it's all going to pop up there. So make sure you're getting to it. And then on the far left over here, you're going to see these icons. If you push N on your keyboard, this is going to be very helpful. Push N on your keyboard, and it's going to pop those open on the side. Otherwise, I don't pay much attention to it, but if I hit N, I'll glance at it. So do that if you can, if you like that open. That's a really good hint. And then over here on the right, we've got your counselors, your habs and space stations and stuff are going to be up there with this tab. And then we've also got your armies, which you're going to see what they're doing. These ones are currently being deployed. You can see if they're engaged, things like that. So each one of your armies will be displayed over here on this tab, and just a general status on them. You can also click on them, and it'll take you to them. So that's nice and helpful if you want to know where they're at and what they're doing. You just go ahead and find them on that far right, and then click on it, and it'll take you there, and you can see what they're doing. And you get a little more information down there too on them. Next up, let's see, this kind of works the same way. If you want to do science lab here, I'm just going to click on that. Boom, I'm there. It's that simple. It's nice. It's easy. Makes things a lot easier to find the stuff. I've also got them all categorized with the little icons, as you can see, for the main things they do. This is the Zeus lab here is a material lab, so I got the little material icon there, so I know just real quick at a glance how to do that, and that's just in the manage screen. The icons are very important. I like to keep those to keep everything nice and organized so I know where everything's at. And yeah, you just click on it over there on the side, it'll take you to it, nice and easy. The game being paused helps a lot, because if it's moving, the universe is moving, sometimes you won't get there right, so pause the game. Now here, you can zoom out of Earth, you click on Earth, it takes you back to it. It's pretty simple. You want to go to solar system view, you just click that button and bam, there you're in the solar system. Look around. Inner solar system is going to be the most important stuff early on. You can see who owns what with these little icons. One means ground, one means it's stationed in orbit. Pretty simple stuff. Here on Earth, counselors are going to be one of the biggest parts of the game, so you're going to need to pay a lot of attention to these guys and their missions, and so their stats are going to become very important. Making sure that you have the right counselors for the right jobs and get them statted out, and again, it'll come intuitively as you play, but it's very important to make sure you have your counselors specialized in the correct stuff if you want to get the missions done. You need a PR specialist, an investigator, an espionage specialist, and a command specialist. Administration, science, and security are kind of they're good to have, but they're not necessary right away. Administration, you can get orgs to help with that. So, and you can see all the missions on the left there. Each counselor will have different ones, so you're going to want to make sure you get a variety of missions and make sure that you have the right skills for those missions. That's very important. So pay attention to public campaign needs persuasion, crackdown needs investigation, so make sure you're specializing your counselors correctly. And then you've also got organizations over here. Now this one is the Mafia, and it's giving her an assassinate mission as well. You can also assign them, move them around, you got an unassigned org, you can have up to 10 down here, and you can kind of move them around between counselors and stuff using all that kind of thing. And it's going to show you well, this is the augment section right here. This is really important too. This is where you're going to get experience with your counselors, and you're going to start upping their stats and getting some other bonuses. And then there's a sum of all their stats, and then you got different traits that each counselor is going to have will be here and what they do. Criminal is one of the more important ones, as well as government, because you want these skills because they will let you get various organizations here, which can be really important to your gameplay. So criminal and government, you want to have at least a counselor or two with those in it. And I'm going to go ahead and start a turn up here, and we're going to go through that so you can see how it progresses, and I'm going to kind of talk you through a few things as it goes, and we'll cover the rest of the stuff here. This is basic. You assign your missions, you start, this is a mission phase, you hit start, the game fast forwards. I recommend just fast forwarding as fast as you can unless you got something important going on. And you're going to get the pop-ups here. And a lot of times you can hit repeat mission for like advised missions.
We've got some
and
intel
things like this, the investigate missions, are important to find out about your enemy counselors, turn them, and stuff like that. And the important part here is that was the resistance counselor, which is what I'm looking for, initiative counselors currently. But so yeah, you're going to get these pop-ups. This is going to be a big part of the game right here. Now I have armies deployed currently, so we're going to go ahead and it's going to take me down to them. And we're fighting in Australia. And I'm not going to go into the details of what, why, when, or where, but this is what's happening currently. We're down here fighting, and we are trying to free Sydney, so it just took me there. We got a success on our public campaign. You can see all your relevant information on there. More army. The devs can tweak the stuff that's going to pop up probably in the future, but for now, this is the stuff that's going to pop up the most. And sometimes you're going to get a failure. It just happens. We got a chance. It tells you the roll and the chance right there. You can get counselors that can be turned by the enemy, so maybe they can intentionally fail missions. You don't know. That's part of the game too, is figuring all that out. Now you're also going to get these random pop-ups, and yeah, you're going to want to choose the lesser of two evils in a lot of cases. Sometimes you get good options, but yeah, you'll see a lot of those pop up from time to time. And this isn't just a random piece pop up. And then, oh, we unlocked a new project. And this is actually a very important project. And this will be a good time to maybe go into research here and show you that a little bit. This is going to be the research screen. And you're going to see your points at the bottom of each one, how many is going into each one per day. And you can see how it all correlates up here. I got an annual income, a monthly income. And it's you can click and move around the points between the projects. And then you can also see the details right here on this screen. You can see how many bonuses you're getting from different various things, such as this one. I am getting HAB bonuses and alien investigation bonus, which is the investigation mission. And I'm also getting 100% research bonus from my organizations and some other stuff. So, and like I said, you just click on it, it'll switch the priorities. You can see how everything's going to rearrange. I've got a total amount, and it's going to split it up between all the projects. That's basically what I'm doing here, is deciding how much I want to go where, and then the bonuses will help you out with that. And then this screen, I like to go straight up here. I like to organize it by category, but you can organize it by cost if you'd like. But this is going to be where you pick all your projects. There's going to be a lot of useless projects. You don't need to do all of these. And it'll also put the top one. Some of you put a little bit of research in, it'll put it to the top. That's a little bit of a trick. But there's the one I just was unlocked. I'm going to go ahead and select that and get going here. Now I destroyed the enemy army, so that was just a pop-up for that. Now, okay, here's another good pop-up. I lost the control point here. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just an informative one. You can continue, close, whatever, but it's just letting me know that I lost a control point to the resistance right there. And then I just finished taking over Sydney, so it's giving me a pop-up telling me I finished that and the new control points, which is my faction because I'm the one that did it. So this is a good time, I guess, to talk about maybe the nation panel here. We got points you can put into different various things. Economy, welfare, you can read up on them. The basics are pretty much you want a good Miltech score. You want to try to get as high as you can in a lot of nations, so I like to keep a nice steady supply in that. Otherwise, it kind of comes down to what you want from each nation. I don't recommend running spoils, but you know, if you want more money and you don't care about the nation, I guess that's one option for you. But then you've also got, again, the control points. It's going to tell you each one and let you know how much you're going to need. If you're over your points, you might have to let go of some nations with the abandoned nation button there at the bottom. It also shows you the different regions for each nation, what they should have. Currently, those ones are occupied, so it's telling me, shows them in red. Then you have your allies, wars, stuff like that, which you can manage through here. A war will need a mission set to the nation, but you can manage allies and rivals down here in this menu. And you can also click on it up here to bring it open as well. So, but otherwise, again, a lot of that stuff has a lot of tooltips you can read to get to what you need from it. So this is the end of the mission phase. Now I'm going to reselect missions for all my counselors. And let's go over briefly what else, the rest of the buttons up here, I guess. This is a nation. This is going to show you a brief rundown of the nations, all their capita, the yada yada yada, GDP. You can see all that over here, who controls them, what the control points have. So it's a lot of information if you want it. You can also sort this information, but with like military point right here, or that's armies, sorry. And it'll tell you which nation has the most armies. You can click on Miltech score right here is what I'm clicking on. So it's going to sort them by Miltech score, and it'll show you who controls the most powerful nations or whatever you're looking for, who has the most knowledge, whatever. It'll tell you who's the top. This is going to be your HABs, stations, basically all of your space assets besides your fleets. This is just going to be your HABs and stations, and you can kind of see all your information over here about them. Click through which ones you want to see, ground, space, where they're located, stuff like that, and how much resources they're taking up. And here we got your fleet screen. They're currently all collapsed down to make it easier to see, but you can see how many ships are in each fleet, how much weapon strength they got, or combat strength, I guess. And you can also go down to each individual ship if you want and see the information on that for each faction. If you click here, you can see what weapons they're using, what technology's on it, things like that, all that little information. It can be helpful sometimes, you know, if you want to know what your enemy's using and what you need to put on your ship to counter it. Here, this is going to be the class designs that you've designed already are here. You can upgrade them, you can obsolete them, delete them, whatever you need. You can see their basic stats here, and if you click on the upgrade, it'll take you to the upgrade. Everything's a little bit slow with these menus. You got to give them a second. But it'll take you here, and this is where you're going to put your modules on, and your weapons and all that kind of stuff. Your armor's down here. You got your various batteries, the reactors, drives, and then up here you've got the different weapon haul weapons and nose weapons that you can put on your ship. And then over here you can, this is a construction screen, this is the other screen on the thing. You can select where you want to build it, whatever ship you want, and it'll let you kind of add that. The stuff's intuitive. You click on the ship and hit add to queue, and whatever one you want to add it to, it'll tell you how long it's going to take, so nothing too fancy or complicated there. And we got our intel screen here. Now this is going to be the alien screen. It's, yeah, I guess it's, again, it's one of those, it's a lot of information. I don't know how useful it's going to be. This is typically out of date, your threat level. I don't know if that's a bug or what's going on, but sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's not. Here, if you hit shift and click on each one, it'll move them for each. So that's a good tip for you. Hold shift and click on the top bar, and it'll do it for each faction. And again, I'm down one faction here. There should be a protectorate. I don't have them in this game because they were annoying me, so I took them out. Now this screen right here is going to let you, if you need to find something quick and go to it, this is the best way to get there. is to just head there, click that little icon next to it, and then it takes you right there. So, and then you can see what you need to see, or what you need to do there. And the prospecting screen does kind of the same thing here. You can sort things by how many resources they have. This is going to be very useful to find out if you need a resource. You click on it, you find where the best site that's not used is, and you can do that with all the ones. Fissiles and rare metals are going to be, like I said, going to be some of your big ones you're going to need. So look for those sites early. And again, you can click on it just like you did the other one. It'll take you there. And then from here, you can see the orbits, the sites. And then all you need to do is select the bottom, found an outpost, found a platform, whatever you're going to do, and you're good to go. So that's nice and handy to use when you're going to be building out your asteroid bases and such. And yeah, so this screen will be really handy, so just make sure you're familiar with it and how to use it, because it's going to save you a lot of headache looking for things. And make sure you send out your probes to those asteroids and stuff once you get to that point, because I don't know if the data updates right if you're not sending out the probes. I don't know if you get your ally, the other faction probes or not, but just in case, make sure you're sending them out. So, all right, let's see. I think that about sums it up. I mean, this is going to be a pretty simple tutorial. Like I said, it only went over the basics. If you want an in-depth tutorial, let me know. I don't know how many of you are going to watch this, so I didn't want to go too crazy with it. But I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments down in the bottom. This game is not that hard to learn. It's just kind of one of those. It's going to be a lot of slogging, and it's a long game. It takes many hours. So stick with it. You'll get it. And good luck.